Good evening, Buff fans, and thanks for tuning in to our coverage of tomorrow's highly anticipated spring football game. I'm Madeline, and alongside me is Alex.
And we're here to bring you all the latest updates and insights leading up to the big game. The big day is finally here. Tomorrow is the first time we get to see Coach Prime and his team in action at the Black and Gold Day. Let's go to SBS reporter Megan McPherson, who is live outside of Folsom Field right now. Megan, what do we need to know ahead of tomorrow's craziness?
Yeah, that's right, Troy. The big day is almost here, the day that we've all been waiting for. In less than 24 hours, we will finally get to see head coach Deion Sanders and his new and improved CU football squad take the field here at Folsom Field behind me. Aside from a few returners from last year's squad, this Colorado team is basically a new look bunch that fans will get their first in-person look at this weekend. Coach Prime has helped attract nearly 30 transfers and an expected sellout crowd of around 45,000. Yes, 45,000 excited Buff fans here at Folsom. This is the first time in program history that the spring football game here in Boulder has been sold out. And get this, for the first time since 1996, CU has sold all of their season tickets ahead of the 2023 season. Now, you can see that I'm wearing my black and gold because tomorrow is Black and Gold Day here at CU. So not only will there be a football game going on, but there's also plenty of other festivities for Buff fans and students on campus to come out and enjoy. Now, keep in mind, Buffs, it is going to be absolute pandemonium here on campus. Parking is going to be very scarce. It's also Colorado in-state students admitted day tomorrow, so all students in Colorado that have been admitted to the university for next year will be coming out tomorrow for some festivities here as well. So it's going to be very, very crowded, to say the least. So make sure that you get here early if you're coming to the game. Try to walk places if you can. There's not going to be a lot of parking, and for example, the case lot is marked off for that Colorado in-state student day. So just be aware of that as you make your plans for tomorrow. Reporting live from Folsom Field, Megan McPherson, Scope of Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coach Prime has famously held players from getting their numbers this spring and instead had their position coaches give them out based on performance. He's making them earn it. So far, 12 players have earned their digits. Fellow Scope of Sports member Jimmie Searfoss has kept track of all of them through his Buff Bingo chart. Notable numbers include number 5, Jimmy Horn Jr., and number 99, Shane Cokes.
There's no question that the buzz around CU football is totally different than in years past, and that is reflected in ticket sales. Earlier this week, Coach Prime announced that the Buffs had officially sold out the season tickets for the first time since 1996. It is also the earliest that season tickets have ever sold out, and the first time it's happened before the month of August.
Were you thinking that the football game was the only event happening at CU's Black and Gold Day? You would be wrong. Deion and his football squad may be the main event, but it's not the only event. Boulder is hosting an entire day's worth of events, starting with the volleyball alumni game at 10 a.m. Next is a field day on Franklin Field. Students and student athletes can mingle and play different field games from 10:30 to 12:30 that day. From 11 to noon on that field, Buff Legends will be available for autographs, which is sure to be a highlight for longtime fans. At 11 a.m., the volleyball game will play their spring scrimmage against Northern Colorado at the CU Event Center, and the soccer team will play at the same time on the Kittredge Fields against Nebraska. Then prime time will take the field for the first time at Folsom at 1 p.m. It's finally that time, Buff fans. Get excited.
What's up, Buff fans? I'm Troy Finnegan here with another edition of Buff Banner. The heated rivalry between Colorado and Nebraska is set to renew this season, with the Cornhuskers coming to Folsom Field for a Week 2 tilt on September 9th. But who wants to wait over 4 more months for that? Nebraska's new head coach, Matt Rhule, has started the mind games a little early. A few months ago, on an appearance on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, Rhule took an apparent shot at Coach Prime and his daily videos that he puts out, talking about how he doesn't always want cameras on or around him. However, the former Carolina Panthers head man didn't stop there. Just the other day, after Coach Prime celebrated the opening of the transfer portal with a video to show his excitement, Rhule stated in a press conference, quote, "I hear other schools talking about, I can't wait for today, the transfer portal, they can't wait to go out, I can't wait to coach my guys. I'm not thinking about anybody else other than this team that's out here." Now, I have my thoughts on this, but I think ESPN's Michael Wilbon summed it up perfectly.
I make of it this sanctimonious, I'd like to use a letter, 2 letters, initials, but I won't. Okay, sanctimonious garbage. This is great. This is another Big Ten coach I can immediately start to dislike even though this is not a Big Ten beef because Deion's not in the Big Ten. He got 17 transfers of his own. Who is he taking shots at somebody can get you? You think that Matt Rule wouldn't order up a G6 to fly to the transfer portal if it was a physical place to pick up as many people in aisle 6 as he could? Please. I could go and just call it a straight up lie. I'll just manage to call it sanctimony, which is what it is.
The fact is, Rule has an esteemed resume as a college football coach, but he needs the portal just as bad as anyone else. If he wants, he can try turning the Huskers around without it, but after watching Nebraska football for the last 10 years or so, I can't imagine that would go over well. I'm Troy Finnegan. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Troy. With all of the talk we've had this semester about the arrival of Coach Prime, it's time to jump into the SCOBUF Sports Trivia question this week. When was the last time CU Boulder had a sold-out spring game? Be sure to stay tuned until the end of our show to find out the answer.
Welcome back. Fresh off their most successful campaign in decades, the women's basketball team is already making moves, adding guard Maddie Nolan from the transfer portal earlier this afternoon. Nolan played 4 years at Michigan, earning an All-Big Ten honorable mention as a junior and averaging 9 points per game this past season, as well as leading the Wolverines in three-pointers made. She's set to aid the perimeter shooting and tournament experience for the Buffs this upcoming season.
The tennis team took a trip to Arizona over the weekend. The Buffs started the trip off on Friday when they played the number 23 team in the country, Arizona State. Colorado ended up losing the match 4-0. Team then took on number 51, Arizona, on Saturday. The Buffs lost 4-1 in a close match. The tennis team closed out the regular season today as they take on Utah.
Coming off of their 15-12 win last week against Arizona State, the lacrosse Buffs are on the road this weekend as they face Stanford tonight and Cal Berkeley on Sunday. Last week, Charlie Rudy was named Defensive Player of the Week for the Pac-12 Conference. She scored 7 goals in the match against Arizona State and is expected to have a great performance this weekend. If the Buffs can come away with 2 wins on the road, they will move up to number 1 seed in the Pac-12 Conference.
The CU Boulder women's golf team closed out the 2023 campaign, placing 11th in the Pac-12 Conference. This week, freshman Morgan Miller was Colorado's top golfer in the tournament. She shot 1 over on the day to secure a spot at 25th overall. Despite the success Miller had on Wednesday, golf coach Ann Kelly shared her thoughts on the championship tournament, stating, "We just couldn't get anything going this week. We're all disappointed with the finish." Nonetheless, the golf team is looking ahead in anticipation for the program's growth in the 2024 season.
The track team had a great weekend at the Brian Clay Invitational. The whole team had multiple personal bests, and 3 of the Buffs got individual wins in their event. Abby Glenn placed first in the 400-meter dash and the 400-meter hurdles. James Maholan also won the 400-meter dash, accomplishing a sweep of the 400-meter dash. Jada Green won and was placed in the top 20 for the NCAA with a distance of 49.82 meters for the javelin throw. The track team looks forward to this weekend for the Mines pre-conference meet and the Doug Max Invitational.
Go Buffs!
Go Buffs!
Thank you.
The women's club lacrosse team were in Utah this past weekend for the Rocky Mountain Women's Lacrosse League Regional Championships. The Buffs first played BYU, the hometown team, stealing a win 12-8. The Lacrosse Buffs met Utah in the RMWLL championship game, the only conference team the Buffs had lost to in the regular season. They exacted their revenge, winning the rematch 12-11 to become RMWLL champions. Congrats to our lacrosse buffs, and good luck at Nationals.
The Colorado men's lacrosse team is wrapping up the regular season this weekend. After a big win in Fort Collins against Colorado State, the Buffaloes sit at 6-4. Colorado played 2 teams in the top 15 on the road to close out the regular season. BYU and Utah Valley, look out because the Buffaloes are coming.
The club baseball team continues to cruise along, improving their record to 12-2 this past Sunday after a dominant 10-0 win against Metro State. The Saturday doubleheader of the series was unfortunately canceled due to poor field conditions, but the Buffs rolled in the lone game of the series, with first baseman Andrew Garcia launching a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, and right fielder Nathan Hoffman making the spectacular catch in the 5th, where the game ended by mercy rule. Yesterday, the Buffs rose from being unranked all the way up to number 13 in the country in the latest NCBA rankings. The Black and Gold may not face any other schools until April 29th, but don't fret. They host an inter-squad game tonight at 7:30 at Scott Carpenter Park.
School bus, baby, we're all about the bus. School bus. They can't contain us. We're the best. We can't be stopped. School bus.
What's up, y'all? I'm Harrison Simeon, and today I'm coming at you rapid fire. We have an action-packed weekend of Buff sports on the horizon, but it all starts today with the men's golf team's tournament against BYU. The first 2 rounds of the Cougar Classic take place throughout the day on Friday, with the 3rd and final round on Saturday. Let's hope to see the Black and Gold golfers take it home in their final tournament of the regular season. Also on Friday and Saturday are 2 track and field tournaments, as some runners will head to Golden for a meet against the Colorado School of Mines, while the rest travel to Stanford for the Peyton Jordan Invitational. Best wishes to our track and fielders. Then, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, Coach Prime's debut bonanza for Colorado, as the Black and Gold Day takes place this very Saturday. The festivities begin at 1 p.m., with the spring game giving the new-look football team their first chance to show off their abilities. Then on Sunday, the D1 women's lacrosse team heads to Berkeley to take on the Cal Bears at 2 p.m. It should be a magical weekend across the CU campus, and I've got to admit, I'm getting pretty hyped just talking about it. That just about does it for Rapid Fire. I've been Harrison Simeon, sending it back to Alex and Madeline at the desk.
Hey everyone, we're back and ready to tell you the answer to that burning trivia question. Remember, we asked you, when was the last time the CU football team sold out the tickets for the spring game? The answer is never. That's right, never. The spring football game is a big deal this year, but that has been far from the case in the past. That's the Coach Prime effect for you.
But Prime and his squad have been getting some criticism since they started spring practices. Some people are saying that the team looked like a high school team, like they were too small to compete in a Power 5 conference. Well, Deion and the Black and Gold had something to say to the haters. And Coach posted this to his Instagram last week. These funny little edits of the team made us chuckle, and it was a good way to poke fun of the people who are doubting the team this year. I guess we'll find out if they're right tomorrow.
Well, that's all the prime time we have for you today. No pun intended.
Thank you for tuning into our show, and we hope you enjoyed our coverage. Until next time, you heard it here first. Go Buffs!